Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Whatever time zone you happen to be in, welcome to Leaders Worldwide Online Toastmasters Club. Our club mission, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leaders Worldwide is designed for politicians, business leaders, nonprofit leaders, entrepreneurs, as well as anyone who wants to make their message heartfelt and authentic. Core values, integrity, respect, service, and excellence. We are Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters, where leaders are made. And I'd like to welcome everybody to our president, Rosemary Sweeney. You are muted, Rosemary.
Excitement on our 3 years a charm meeting. Thank you, Mrs. Sergeant at Arms, Alex, and I welcome everyone to our meeting now, this afternoon, this morning, midday, whatever day it is. And we have some dignitaries among us. I'm going to welcome them and to say something about 3 times is a charm. So I have a list in here. We have our immediate past district director. Is person there? No. I haven't seen her. Caroline is not here. Tala. These are people we're expecting, so they will come in probably later on. Our area director, she's supposed to be here. Our wonderful other area director, D. Marie Shai King. Let us welcome her. She's always there with
Harry's
us.
on the phone.
Who is on the phone? Oh,
Harry is on the phone.
Okay, then welcome, Carrie. And Sally, our program quality director, distinguished Sally. Rose, region 8 director. Yes, she's there. Kirkland, welcome.
She's the regional advisor.
Oh,
Rose is the regional advisor.
Regional advisor, yeah. Region 1, regional advisor, yes. Our fellow Toastmasters leaders worldwide, and if there are any guests, welcome. Today we are celebrating our 3rd year in existence as Toastmasters. We started when the world was locked in and locked down, and non-Toastmasters had nowhere else to go. But we as Toastmasters, we went across the globe, trotting across the globe via Zoom, meeting new people, and Leaders Worldwide was formed, for which I'm forever grateful because I'm here in the Caribbean, and we have members all over the globe. So we have met people from the north, south, east, and west. Though the pandemic was not good, but we took, they said, if somebody give you lemon, make lemonade. And Leaders Worldwide took that lemon of that time in 2020 and created this amazing club. And from the time we were formed, we have been president distinguished and president distinguished and president distinguished. So I was saying we are there for 3 years, and the 3rd time is a charm. Unlike other 3rd times, we are always on the move. Normally, when someone here 3rd time is a charm, that means they have tried and failed and tried and failed and tried and failed and are trying again. But we have been successful, and we are going to be trying to be successful every time, because when the club is successful, this means the members are successful. This means that their area is successful and their vision is successful. Overall, our members will be in a better place. So again, I welcome all our dignitaries and everyone who is on this call this evening. And now I hand over to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Cassandra. Let us make her feel welcome as she comes on.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to say to all of you, thank you for coming and celebrating with us this grand day. It is our third year, and it's the third time is a charm. I am so proud to be here with you, celebrating this third year with you. And today, we have all of you here in our presence, celebrating this day. So I want to say thank you so much. It is at this time I'd like to introduce our grammarian, Miss Sally Race. Sally's going to let us know what our word of the day is, but also to count our ums and ahs and all of those filler words that are unnecessary when giving a speech.
Thank you.
So
Cassandra.
Sally, would you please come to the
Yes,
podium?
I'm here. Do you hear me?
We can barely hear you, Sally.
Let's see. Okay, that won't work. Okay. Hello. From Berkeley, California. Can you hear me now? No.
Faintly.
Yes, yes, you're fine.
You
You're
can
fine,
hear me.
Sally.
Okay. That's my job, is to enjoy these perfect words used in perfect stories. And I would like to say that our day and celebration starts with exuberant. That's a mouthful. And it means filled with lively energy and excitement. And that's what we're all about. So I'll be counting the ums and the ahs and all the special descriptive words that I enjoy in every story. Thank you. Take it away, Cassandra.
Thank you so much for that, Sally. But before I move on, I wanted to also announce that we also had someone to come in and give us some congratulatory announcements here from some well-wishers. And if you don't mind, I'd like to read what they also said. This came from a past District 57 director. And this Diane, you want to help me out with her last name, Cynthia, so I won't butcher it?
Ployce? Diane Ployce? Ployce.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She writes, congratulations on today's open house. I hope today's meeting exceeds your expectations and you will join Toastmasters to improve your public speaking skills and enhance your leadership skills. It's a wonderful community. Wishing you all the best, Diane, past District 57 director. And another writes, congratulations on your third anniversary at Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club. I am confident that each of you is enjoying a rich learning experience together as you collectively change lives. Wishing you President's distinguished year ahead as you support one another in being all that you can. Congratulations again. Best wishes, Pat Johnson, International President 2010 to 2011. Isn't that wonderful? So with that being said, third time's the charm. So with this, we'll move into, I'll explain the keynote speaker's time. It will be a 10-minute speech, while time displays timing cards. We'll do that. So at green, we'll see the 8 minutes. At yellow, there will be 9 minutes. And at 10 minutes, there will be the red card. So, okay. And then there will be a 30 minutes to wrap up. Toastmasters is the organization where leaders are made. So what does it mean to be a leader? Do you want to be a leader who sets the vision and helps to change our world in a positive manner? Why did you become involved in Toastmasters leadership? Think about those questions. Our speaker this morning has recently retired as the Assistant Director of Public Health in Riverside County, California, where he oversaw a staff of more than 400. Michael Osur is Distinguished Toastmaster, past Distinguished District Director, served on Toastmasters International Board of Directors, and has received a presidential citation from Toastmasters International, the highest award given to an individual Toastmaster. Presenting Just Say Yes Leadership Opportunities. Abound. Join me in welcoming Distinguished Toastmaster, past International Director, Michael Osur. Michael, take it away.
What happens when you say yes? You smile, your eyes brighten, your worldview changes in a positive way. What? You're filled with exuberance. What happens when you say no? You frown, you're depressed, you're sad. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I implore you, just say yes. Congratulations to this wonderful club. 3 years of President's Distinguished. That is something to be so proud of. When I joined Toastmasters 2008, more than 15 years ago, I didn't understand that all that Toastmasters can do. We understood the public speaking. I didn't understand the leadership, the where leaders are made component, that there were 2 parts to this. But I did understand that saying yes opened up the world of opportunities. I was the first club president of my charter club. We had no idea what we were doing. Our area director said, Mr. President, I need you to go to officer training. I had no idea what that meant, but I wasn't a good listener in those days. I hadn't been in Toastmasters long enough. So I thought I was going to officer training, but I showed up at an area contest instead. How does that happen? Think about this. I registered, paid my $3, and the 2 women at the registration desk happened to both be spouses of past district directors. They are smart, smart people. They immediately grabbed their husbands. Hey, there's a new club president here. And those 2 past district directors, Tom and Daryl, have been my mentors ever since. And guess what? Within the year, I said yes when they asked, and I was an area director. I thought I was going to be trained as a club president. I ended up being an area director a short time later, just from saying yes to go to training that I actually missed. I was trained later. Isn't that the beauty of Toastmasters? Even when you make a mess of things, you're on the right track. There's people looking out for you. And I love those stories. Now, as I moved from club president to area director, because I said yes there, and then yes to division director, president's division director, Cynthia, that's in your cards for the next year, I promise you. Then to the trio, like Sally's here. Hi, Sally is our program quality director. You say yes each step of the way. You have no idea what it entails, but you know that the world awaits and each opportunity opens up. So I got to go to conventions and let's see, Las Vegas, Orlando, Washington, D.C. And then when I got the opportunity to help, after I was district director, the opportunity to help a fellow member run for the board of directors from Region 8, Dennis Woolridge. You're going to love this. 2014, he actually won over Matt Kinsey. So even Matt Kinsey, when he said yes the first time, didn't win. 2 years later, we both got on the board of directors by saying yes. And think about this, there's how many? There's 16,000 club presidents. There's probably 4,000 area directors, 1,000 division directors. I know the numbers are mind-boggling. 130 or so district directors. There's 25 region advisors. One's here with us today. That's amazing. And then 14 members, international directors. So all you have to do is say yes. And the world opens up and you can make a huge difference in your communities. So as I said yes, I learned to help others say yes, because as you become a leader, you need people. If you're an area director, you need people to come to your area council meetings. Sally needs people, hundreds of people to come to her Toastmasters Leadership Institute as officers get trained. If you're club growth director, you need people to say yes to starting new clubs. So not only by you saying yes, you actually teach others to say yes. Because what's the alternative? Sitting home and watch football? Well, that's not so bad when the Niners are winning, but really, we need to be out there in the world making that positive difference. And as you move up in the world, you teach others, like I said, but then you have opportunities upon opportunities upon opportunities. So if you're in this club, you said yes to join this club 3 years ago. Wow. Who knew that it would be President's Distinguished 3 years in a row? And Cynthia, how many area directors are in this club?
2 of them.
How many?
2.
Few, right.
Yes. 2.
And I know we have
lots of trio members in this club.
trio
also.
members, right. And you have a division director at least. And today,
I'm a division director, yes.
Yes, exactly. So look at these great opportunities here in this club alone. And each step, you think it's the final step, but say yes as you have each opportunity along the way, because the world opens up in an amazing way. Now, sometimes you say yes for the wrong reason. So it's important that you know your why. And of course, I always steal from Simon Sinek on this, but start with why. Why are you in Toastmasters? Many it was become a better communicator. Some say, oh, I had no trouble speaking. Some said they wanted to get a new job. Whatever it is, know your why, but your why changes over time as you move into leadership. I mean, when you're president, you're in charge of your club. When you're an area director, you're responsible in some ways for 4 to 6 clubs. I love that. And again, if you're an area director, it's by far the best role in Toastmasters, right, Rose? Even better than region advisor. And then if you're division director, you're responsible for 4 areas or 4 areas, 6 areas, and it just grows from there. And then, like you heard, soon I was responsible for more than 400 individuals working for the Department of Public Health. We'll talk about that in a minute. Now, you always want to do a good job. Maybe you don't want to disappoint a friend or a colleague. And it's okay to say yes. But when you tell them no, it shuts it off. Has anyone here ever studied improv? Right. And in improv, you get a scenario and then you and your partner act it out. And whatever you say in improv, you have to say yes and. Because as soon as you say, they say, oh, we're going to go to the store. And they say no. Well, then your improv is over. Like that. So that's why I say your journey is just beginning. Now, I did an informal survey a year or so ago of all the people I respect in Toastmasters, club presidents, district directors, region advisors, international directors. And they all had something in common. They all said yes when someone asked them to take the next step. Every international president, and I know 30 or 40 of them, had to say yes numerous times. And you all can say yes as well. And it's not just becoming a great Toastmaster. In my job as the Assistant Director of Public Health in Riverside County, during the pandemic, they needed someone to go on TV and talk to CBS News and get interviewed. I said yes. Then I was in NBC. Then I was in Fox. Then NPR called. We want you to talk to the whole country about the pandemic and what they can do to stay healthy. All from saying yes to being an area director, to being on national radio and national TV. As international director, I had an opportunity to visit Mexico numerous times. I know you have some people from that part of the world. My first talk there was decir que sí, just say yes. And for the whole 2 years of my time on the board, when I went back to Mexico, they would go, Michael, decir que sí, all over the country. And I got so many people, members in Mexico in the 2 districts that were there, to say yes to leadership. And both those districts have been hugely successful. I had a small part to play in that. But how about you? Why are you in Toastmasters? Who can you say yes to? How can you become a better communicator and leader? How can this communication and leadership make your club better, your district better, your community better, and dare we even say, making the world a better place from what we learn in Toastmasters? So I say to you, decir que sí, just say yes, and the world will open up. Madam Toastmaster.
Let's give Michael a hand. Excellent. Love it. Now can we get some time on the clock? I'll give timer. Can we, let's see, hold on. We're going to get 11 minutes on the clock, please. Oh, it's actually 10 minutes. I'm sorry. Changed it. Diana, please. 10 minutes on the clock for Q&A.
Okay.
And so the timing will be as following. 8 minutes for green, 9 minutes yellow, and 10 minutes red. And you can actually put questions in the chat and we'll take it from there. Any questions for Michael?
Oh, call on Sally or Rose. They know how to ask questions. Oh, we can start with Cynthia, I guess.
Cynthia?
Actually,
question?
please call on Sally or Rose. I'd love to hear from them, their input. Yes.
Okay, so you see it on there. You know, I can't see my side is limited. So why don't you give me the names and then
Okay.
I can take it from there. How about that?
So, Sally, are you ready?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, Michael, just say yes. How do you approach someone who they're in Toastmasters, but they just don't think they have time for Toastmasters? How do you approach that situation?
Remember that old saying, if you want something done, give it to the busiest people you know. I mean, come on. I always say, okay, guys, I'm not a super person. But I was able to oversee hundreds of people working on the COVID response and still attend Toastmaster meetings. You carve out time and you set your priorities. We're all doing things that make no difference in the world for ourselves. I don't know if it's watching TV, I don't know, whatever it might be. And now, of course, your family always comes first. I wouldn't say anyone should give up their family. But also that you don't have to do nothing you have to do by yourself in Toastmasters. There's people that will always help you. And that's what I always say. We will help you. We don't do the job for you, but we help you. I was mentored. Daryl and Tom told me everything I needed to know. Can you imagine? I thought I was at a training and I was at a contest. Who can make a bigger blunder than that and still find success? And Sally, I'm teaching our current district director how to ask people to say yes without them even knowing that they're saying yes. And we can talk about, that's a whole nother talk, but people have time. Never denigrate what we do by saying, oh, you only have to visit a club a couple of times, it's easy. Everything that's worthwhile takes time and effort, but it's so worthwhile. I hope that answered your question more or less, Sally. Madam Toastmaster, I see Dee Marie and Dr. Nadine have questions.
Okay, Dr. Nadine. And let's put 2 minutes on the clock. Denise?
2 minutes.
Yes, please, for each question.
Hello, Michael. Nice to meet you.
Hi,
My
Nadine.
question is, I think it's similar to Sally's, but not exactly, well, similar. So you were the charter president for your club, and then your mentors helped you to become the area director and so forth, and you continued up the ladder. My question to you is, was there any time at all that you felt overwhelmed? You know, I mean, especially considering that your career, like you were working in the health field during COVID, and you know, you had all these individuals to lead in a time when it was I don't know, in a time when it was a great disruption, I'd say.
Okay. Well, I thrive on stress. I remember I didn't put this in my intro. I grew up in New York. But of course you get overwhelmed. The hardest part for all of us is asking for help. We all think we can do it ourselves, and we see it as a weakness if we ask for help. So when I was division director and one area director couldn't do visits because he had to work on Saturdays, I helped him find another area director to do his visit, then he could do a visit for the other area director. But it took me quite a while to get him to ask for that help. And I find when you get overwhelmed, we all need mentors, but ask for that help and people will step up to assist you. They don't do your job, but they will assist you. When I was trying to we wanted all the clubs to get represented at the convention for the annual business meeting. And I thought I could call 100, I could call all the club presidents. Well, that's not going to 100 club presidents, but I got 5 past district directors to each call 20 people, and they did the job. I just had to ask for the help, and they were happy to do it. That's my experience, is when I get overwhelmed, it usually means I'm trying to do everything instead of asking for help. I hope that helps, Nadine. Dee Marie has a question.
Okay, Dee Marie. Dee Marie.
Loved your presentation, Michael. Thank you so much for being here with us today. My question is, how do I help the members of my organization of Leaders Worldwide in my position as the VP of Pathways? What is the magic potion that I can give them to get them to get involved in pathways? I feel that urgency and that excitement. How do I convey that?
I always think we need to start with core basics. I found that when people aren't in pathways, number one, they don't have a Toastmasters login. They don't know how to go to the website. And then we have to make sure that they know how to log in. So we can do it together with them and get them a user, get them their username and get them their password. I found once they do that, and then you help, and then you can click around. Now it was easier when we met in person. They can click around and you show them what to do. Then it's easy. But I think we just assume, oh, just click over there. They'll send you a password and you'll be fine. It never works that way. So I found just showing them around the website, and I do a whole talk on just how to navigate the website, that everything is there. Then Pathways is not a, once you do that, then Pathways flows easily. But if imagine you're a new person, you're not even sure what email you're using, you don't know how to log in, you can't find the base camp and you can't click the start, and we wonder why they didn't start. So now I'm looking forward to January when they make this much more user friendly, but that's my simple answer. Walk them through the basic steps so they can just log in. And Sally, this is the key to Pathways, is logging in.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. I think Alex has a question.
Okay, Alex.
Alex needs to learn how to use Zoom and put himself up there. There. Thank you so much for your time. I know you have a busy schedule, and me being a New York person, I can understand, California people, they're on the wrong time. That being said, as a newer member coming into it, I know you've been at all levels, and the president level is probably the same issues that you were at the highest level. It's just there's more people involved. That being said, as a newer member talking to people that are non-Toastmasters, what do you tell them whether they are a good speaker versus not a good speaker to entice them to try Toastmasters, not join, but just embrace what we're trying to do here? Because I think the people that need it are the ones that do speak well, and the ones that don't speak well, obviously, are the ones that we should be talking to.
So I love that question, Alex. So one of my best friends in Toastmasters from Australia, in fact, she's going to be flying to California tomorrow. She said she went to her first meeting in person, and when they made her stand up and say her name, she about passed out. Because she wasn't used to putting herself out there. So by the third meeting, she could say her name. And then next thing you know, she was doing a table topic, because they just incrementally ask each piece. In our charter club, the reason we formed this club, I didn't understand anything about Toastmasters, but I knew that people were not getting promoted in our organization because they couldn't interview. They weren't interviewing well. So I said, hey, do you want to get promoted? Come join Toastmasters. If we can't help you, nobody can. No, come join us. And I want you to know that of those 20 charter members, everyone within 18 months that wanted to be promoted got promoted. In fact, the hiring managers would call me up. Hey, Mary Jo must be in your Toastmaster club. She just blew everyone out of the water on her interviewing, because nobody knows how to do impromptu 2-minute speeches. I don't care if you're the best speaker in the world, except in Toastmasters, you learn that. And so it got so that anyone that wanted to get promoted knew they needed to join the club, because I never accused anyone of being a bad speaker. I just said, here's some opportunities. And if they were great speakers, they go, don't you owe it to yourself to help others become great speakers? And that's kind of how I did it, Alex. No magic. I just winged it. But
wait, there's no magic pill? Damn.
Darn. But I think table topics is the secret sauce. And I don't think we talk about this enough, because everyone can get promoted if they learn how to speak for 2 minutes. Cassandra? Wait.
Yes. My question, thank you again for being here, Michael. I mean, you really just put the cherry on the top for our 3rd anniversary here. Really good nuggets here. My question to you is, what do you think prompted them to give you the opportunities, all these opportunities that you had? What do you think was the magnet that attracted them to you?
I love this question. It's so challenging and it's so simple. This is another talk we can give. You just show up, right? Sally has for training for officers, just show up at officer training and you'll meet all these people, whether it's in person or online. I meant to go to training, but I showed up at a contest and they said, there I was. You just showing up to your meetings, filling the roles, doing the steps outside. Once you show up, the world of Toastmasters will bring you along, right? As soon as in our own way, we have a way of doing that. We see a new person. Why did you join? How can we help you? What are you looking for? So I'm convinced it's a just show up piece of it. And then we can help each other find our whys in the world. So what I talk about, table topics and just showing up. Is that the secret sauce? Find out.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So I see our time is coming near. Is there one last question?
Can we hear from our regional advisor?
Oh, Rose is being so quiet there. Rose. Oh, Rose and I, by the way.
Thank you so much.
She's an amazing person. You just asked her how many clubs she started her district director year. I'm in awe of her skill.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, for the invite. And thank you so much, Michael, for a wonderful presentation. And this reminds us that we just need to get our ask in gear, and that's ASK. I learned that a long time ago when I joined Toastmasters, and that was the one thing my mentor told me. Get your ASK in gear. And it's exactly what you were saying, Michael. It also says that Toastmasters is the best place when you are lonely. If you need social activity, join Toastmasters, because where better can you hear stories and from great speakers like Michael? My question for you, Michael, is that knowing that all of this, what is it that besides the secret sauce that you allude to, what is it most about Toastmasters and building relationships that has helped you and the world, and for you to make such an impact on people's lives and a difference, like helping people get promoted? Please do share.
Well, kind of what Alex was saying, I thought I was a great speaker. I could give a 45-minute presentation. In fact, I was so arrogant that if I was speaking at an event and they didn't give me 45 minutes, I refused to speak. Yeah, before, that was pre-Toastmasters. But Toastmasters taught me whatever time you have, whether it's 2 minutes, 7 minutes, 15, 45, it's our job as a speaker to give people what they want and what they need. Not our job, to me, to give what I think they need. And in fact, I visited, I don't know how many districts, 10 or 12 districts during my 2 years as international director. And I'm giving my keynote. I need to do this. And they go, Michael, sorry, your 40 minutes is now 14. Can you do it? And the answer is not to storm off, but to say, absolutely, because that's it. Our job is to learn first what we need to do, like Dr. Smedley said, and then help others. It isn't about us as much as it is about other people. And hey, it took me a lot of years in Toastmasters before I really learned that as well. And that carried over into everything else, Rose. Oh, Rose, what an honor to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's give everyone a big hand. Rose, Mark Osur, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And now it comes to the time for our table topics. And with table topics, our timer, Denise is going to show the colors for our table topics. And they're 1 to 2 minutes for the table topics. During table topics, we will select questions from our guests as well as for our members. And once again, 1 to 2 minutes. So with that, let's call on Dee Marie. Dee Marie? Are you ready for our table topics?
Yes, and Denise, at 1 minute, we will show the green color. At 1 minute and a half, you'll see the yellow color. And at 2 minutes, you'll see the red color. At that point, you have 30 seconds to wrap up. And today, because this is such an auspicious occasion, we're going to deviate slightly from what we normally do with table topics. I am so humbled to be a part of Leaders Worldwide. And I want to congratulate each member of Leaders Worldwide and thank our guests for being with us to celebrate this wonderful occasion. What I want to do is to ask a question of the three people who have caused us to be where we are today. And that question is asked in the highest recognition and honor of those three individuals. And the first person that this question goes to is Cynthia Stott. As the founding president of Leaders Worldwide, if you had written a letter to self, what is the one thing you would have warned yourself about as becoming president? If you had written a letter to self, what is the one thing, just one thing, that you would have warned yourself about as becoming president of Leaders Worldwide? Cynthia, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Table Topic Master. Wow. Oh, I have it.
You're muted, Cynthia.
You're muted now,
The wrong
Cynthia.
one.
You're muted.
You muted the wrong one.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry
So
about
start
that.
your timing over, Denise, please. Okay.
Great. As charter president, I would have warned myself about, well, exactly what Michael talked about, your ask, getting your team together, being more reliant on my team, and being more transparent with what I needed them to do to support me and to support each other. And I think that's the thing that I would do, is focus more on the team and creating an expert team. I think as a leader, your whole focus needs to be on others, but also especially on your team, the people that are going to help you get out there and do what you want to do. And you also need to share your vision. The pathway visionary communication is so key, because as a visionary, I think of visionaries as experts that are up the tree and they're way in the treetops. And so they can see a far distance, but they have to come all the way down to the grassland and make sure everybody else is on board with them before they can go up the tree and climb to the top and bring those people to see the vision together. I think about Dr. King and the vision that he saw. He saw from the mountaintop. He actually saw his own death. He knew he was not going to make it with the others, but he saw a vision of the world. And I believe that he is still seeing that from heaven, still seeing that vision come true with President Obama, with all of the diversity and inclusion that we're bringing it together. And I think his vision is going to come even more forward in the next 40 years. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Oh my goodness. Let's give Cynthia a round of applause, please. That was spot on, Cynthia. So our theme for today is the third time is the charm. But what happens the second time? Our second past president is Ben Hamad Al-Hamad. And I would like for him to, if you wrote a letter to self, what did you tell yourself when you became president of Leaders Worldwide in its second year? What would you have said in a letter to self when you became president of Leaders Worldwide in the second year. You have the floor.
Thank you so much, Madam Table Topics Master. To be very honest, it's still incredible that I was able to serve Leaders Worldwide as president in its second year. And if I could write a letter to myself, standing from where I stand right now, I would tell myself exactly what our keynote speaker said. Say yes. Because when I was approached for the presidency, to be very honest, I was scared out of my wits. Here I am, across the 7 seas, 12 hours away, and looking like what I do, being told to run for the presidency of a native English-speaking club. But that was all the more reason to say yes. Because if I've learned one thing in Toastmasters, it is this: say yes and think later. Because if you don't say yes, you keep thinking, you just keep thinking and thinking and thinking, and you keep coming up with reasons not to jump in. And sometimes there's this much difference between people who watch by the sidelines and people who actually get to serve. And that is just the courage to jump in, to let go of our fears, and to trust in God and the community. The world's best community, by the way. This community is like no other on the planet. No matter where you go, which country you're in, the Toastmasters community remains the epitome of humanity and understanding and compassion. No matter what skin color, no matter what nationality, no matter what religion. So I would tell myself that don't think, say yes, and you'll have plenty of time to think later. Over to you, Madam Table Topics.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness. Can you
gosh.
see why we have been distinguished since 2020? Oh my goodness. So having said that the founding president set the stage, and the second president understood very much so to say yes and to move into his role. And not only was he president of Leaders Worldwide, Cynthia put some information in the chat about him being a district director in Pakistan, international district director, I think, in Pakistan. So the quality of leadership that we've had at Leaders Worldwide is astounding and breathtaking. But the theme of the today's meeting is the third time is the charm. President Rosemary Sweeney.
Yes, I am, Mayor.
The question that I have for you is, when you became president of Leaders Worldwide, looking back now, if you had written a letter to self, what would you have said as you moved forward? If you had written a letter to self the day that you became president, what would you have said to yourself as you move forward? The floor is yours.
If I had written a letter to self the day I became president, I would have said, Sweeney, what are you thinking? How can you lead all those awesome ladies? And that was what I was thinking. How can I be in charge of Leaders Worldwide, where there were so many people from across the globe, people I'd never met personally, people with different affiliations than in my humble little Caribbean island. But being a Toastmaster, I then realized, okay, it might be challenging because you're going to get people of different stature, people of different thinking. And I always say, but in Toastmasters, it teaches us how to accommodate each other and be respectful, as our values say. And I always say, well, our fingers, they are not all same length or same height, same shape, but we need them for our hands. And so though I'm going to meet others who are different, have different thinking, with Toastmasters, as long as we follow our values, I will be good. because our values teaches us integrity, which I love that word, and we are going to be open and honest with each other. I always see Toastmasters as us standing on shoulders of others. And as one speaker said, as our founding fathers said, that we worked best and we work hard to bring out the best in each other, only to find that we use that to assist others. So I will get assistance with my fellow Toastmasters of Leaders Worldwide. And again, we do not do it alone, we are a team. So I would set myself that letter telling myself that I am a member of a team and there is no I in team, and together everyone achieves more. And so I took it on and the going is great so far. Back to you, Madam Tabletop.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. And I love your beginning, because that's what I think I would have said as well. That was so authentic. Do I have time for one more question? Because I'd like to ask a guest a question if I have time.
Sure, we can squeeze one in.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. We can squeeze one in. Go ahead.
So do we have a guest that would volunteer, please?
Just Cynthia?
I'm sorry.
I'm just asking Cynthia to unpin Rose and tell her. Could you unpin Rose and tell her?
Let's squeeze one in.
Do we have a volunteer? One of our guests, please.
What did Michael say? Say yes.
Jennifer, you have brought your camera on. Would you like to answer the question?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Absolutely. So the theme of our meeting today is the third time is a charm. If I were to say to you, the third time is a charm, how would you interpret that? What does the third time being a charm mean to you? Jennifer, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. This is a beautiful, beautiful question. And thanks to Cynthia Scott, who does not give up on me. I'm here this afternoon, though I'm an hour late because of the time change. However, third time being a charm resonates with me because I too, as a club president, chartered a club in 2009. And we are going into our 15th anniversary next March. And guess what? I was asked to take the role of president for the third time in the 15 years. And I said yes. And for the little time that I've been here, I am learning so much already through the table topic responses. What I would tell you is that I did not always understand my team. I knew each person by name, but I didn't take the time to recognize their strengths and their weaknesses. So at times over the years, it became frustrating because I felt it was square pegs in round holes. But as the last speaker said, and the gentleman also said, Toastmasters, we learn to accommodate. We are one big family. We lean on each other, we lean in, we know when to step back, lead from the back, and we know when to humble ourselves and say, thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Nadine. You just taught me something, regardless of what role we hold in the club. So third time being a charm really resonated with me today. And I feel so special that I volunteered for this, to answer this table topics question. Back to you, Madam Topics Master.
Oh my goodness.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for that response. So we've had 3 exuberant presidents and past presidents of Leaders Worldwide. We've had an exuberant response from the president of another club, but we started all of that by having an exuberant presentation by Michael Osur. We all know now why we have said the third time is the charm. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. And what an exuberant hour this has been. Oh, I feel so refreshed. I'm excited about this meeting. It's touched the hearts and the souls of all of us that has participated here. I can just feel the energy in this virtual room. So now let's call for the timer and get the grammarian reports, please. So let's start with the grammarian, please. Sally.
Thank you, Cassandra. Well, I didn't actually hear too many people speak exuberant, but it was a great word for energy, and it's a great word to try on in the future. I was carried away with how important team and vision, and brought out the most by referring to Dr. King. And I break up a little one. I think of him standing above everyone saying, I have a dream. And I may not be there to see it. Anyway, I'm deeply trapped. Just say yes and get your get your ask in gear. I put that up somewhere.
That was beautiful.
Thank you so much. There's some ums and ahs from Cassandra. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, can we get the timing report from Denise? Denise, you have it.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So our speaker, the distinguished guest, Michael Osur, came in over at 10 minutes and 45 seconds. All Q&A and table topics were within time. Back to you.
And thank you. Now I will turn the meeting over to our president, President Sweeney. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much for an amazing and exuberant meeting. I did not welcome past international director, Michael. Michael, I deeply appreciate your presentation today, and it resonated with me. Just say yes, because sometimes I really have to say no. So I know when I say no, I have exhausted everything in my mind and will not feel depressed. I enjoyed your presentation. It was very eye-opening. And I took a note of the story. Once you show up, the words of Toastmasters, what you said, like if you can get everything there is to get out of Toastmasters, you will never leave Toastmasters. That resonated with me. And also ours is the only organization that anybody knows dedicated to helping the individual. We work hard, I said earlier, to bring out the best in each of us, only to help others. It is not about us, but we can only give what we have, and the Toastmasters ensures that we have something to offer. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed also the table topic, master thought-provoking questions of writing to self. I've never thought of that before, and that's a good way to reflect on what has passed and what is to come. I enjoyed, well, we had one speaker, all the respondents. It's like we knew and the question was there, and that made me remember I was division director, went over to another island and heard a young Toastmaster. She had just joined maybe 6 months, who was getting to be an air hostess. And she said everybody was interviewed in a room and they would ask questions. And the other participants were sure she knew somebody on the panel, the way she answered the questions. And she said all she knew was how to answer table topics. And so she took those questions at table topics and she was ahead of everyone. So Toastmaster really works. And I am a product of Toastmaster, and I can tell you it works. So everyone here are Toastmasters. So I just invite you to visit our clubs. We have meetings every Monday, one at 10:30 Pacific time and the other at 5:30 Pacific time. So you can visit our club, and who knows, you might just become a member of Leaders Worldwide, because it's an amazing, awesome club. We have awesome members. I Want to wish everyone a happy Toastmaster International anniversary and happy Leaders Worldwide anniversary. Toastmasters is 99 and going strong, and we are on the first day to get in our 100th, our century. Imagine an organization there so long ago, and it is growing and growing and growing because it is assisting members. I have seen members who told me they were there in the 90s, left and come back. Because as I have learned in Toastmasters, it is up to you. No one is forcing you to do anything. It is up to you and what you think you can achieve, what you would like of it. And I think that is what keeps me in Toastmasters. Because some organizations, you are there and it's like they want to force you to say yes. You say yes and you are not happy. But with Toastmasters, it is all up to you. And I just love that about Toastmasters. And because of our core values, it is up to us, but we want to respect our core values, and so we make it work. At this time, normally we have chocolates given, and Cynthia is the master of chocolates, and ending the meeting with giving out chocolates. So I call on her to do just that and end our meeting.
Wonderful. Thank you, President Rosemary. Awesome. And can we hear some final words from our guests, from Michael and Sally and our regional advisor as well? Michael, would you like to say a few words? And then I will give everyone virtual chocolates.
I love virtual chocolate. Thank you for inviting me. I've given a version of this speech many years ago, and this gave me a great opportunity to update it. And I'm calling it the 2023 version of Just Say Yes. And I'm working on it in Spanish as well. So thank you, Cynthia, for inviting me. And thank you. I'm very proud of you. 3 years of President's Distinguished. One word. Every year you can do this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for saying yes to coming and speaking for us. And Sally, what would you like to say?
Yes, thank you so much. You have a very vibrant club. It's obvious that folks here in this club have learned to say yes and will continue learning to do so. Great meeting. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you for saying yes and coming. We're so honored. And last but not least, our regional advisor, Rose Kirkland. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, for the invitation. It is an honor to be here. I just want to say happy 3rd anniversary. That's wonderful. Charter clubs in the last few years have had struggles to make it year after year, and you are proof that together as a quality group, thinking quality, thinking about others, that it's not about me, it's about the we, the WE. And whenever I come to a club that is focused on we, it makes my heart warm. And I wish I could join your club too, but I think that I went over the baker's dozen too many years in a row. If you don't know how many clubs that is, it's 12 plus 1. And my family are after me like, when is there time for us? But thank you so much for continuing to be a group of leaders and members that aspire to the greater beyond, that we can go beyond just speaking, that Toastmasters is more than just mere words, more than just speaking. It impacts lives in ways that we don't even speak, but because we learned in Toastmasters how our mannerism transcends, you have made a difference for everyone, definitely for me. I appreciated today's meeting. Happy 3rd anniversary and many more successful years as President's Distinguished, leading the pack, leading the world so that others can see that there's so much that they can benefit from. Thank you for being a part of Sharing is Caring. Back to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Wow, wow, wow. And if everyone could unmute your mic, I'm going to send some virtual chocolates. And well, it's going to be virtual chocolate or whatever you want, fruit, It's a very magical delivery that you get exactly what you want. 1, 2, 3, woo! Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
And before everybody leaves, I felt compelled to say the questions that those 3 presidents asked were not given in advance. Because as I heard them respond to the question, it would sound as though I had given it out before they had no advanced knowledge of where I was going. And when Cynthia brought in Dr. Martin Luther King, when Tyler was telling us how being the president meant that he say yes, and then when Rosemary said it scared her to death, those sounded like pat answers. They did not know the questions in advance.
Really
I just felt
did,
compelled to
Marie.
say that.
It did, Marie. I thought you gave them beforehand too.
I had to let you know that they did not get them in advance. No.
Have a good day, everyone.
Have a good one. And thanks again for attending the meeting. It was
Thank you so
indeed.
much.
Thank you so much.
Great to see everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone.
And we have an after party if you want to